Oi pessoal, tudo bem com vocês? Hi guys, how are you? Today I'm going to talk about that movie, that you guys requested me to watch it and then to talk about it later. Yeah. The movie is called Observance, and in Portuguese, the name is totally different. The name is A Investigação. And today I'm going to talk about it, okay? I'm just going to talk a little bit about my impressions, and I like it very much, and it's a psychological, terror, and I hope you guys have fun watching my highlights about this movie, okay? See you soon. Bye. Hi, people. Hi there. Okay, so as it was requested, okay, by you guys, I watched the movie Observance, and although the name is totally different in Portuguese, okay, the name in Portuguese is A Investigação, okay. It's a very easy movie to find, in our, in streaming services around the world, okay? So in Brazil, if you want to see it, it's not going to be very difficult to find it, okay? Because you can watch it via Telecine, It's a very good streaming service, so you can do that, okay? But the focus today, okay, is about my impressions, related to this movie. Because you guys, you requested this, saying that this movie is a very mind-blowing kind of movie. And I was like, oh my goodness, I love this kind of movie, okay? So I am very grateful because I love it. So thank you very much for asking, for recommend, in fact, this movie, okay? Because I had a great time watching it, yes. I kind of like, this kind of movies that are very, that they don't have this. Okay, let's talk about the movie. First of all, it's an Australian movie, okay, and we have the director of the movies, Joseph Sims-Dennett, and yeah, it's my first. It's my first movie from this director, and I like it very much. I like it I like it the style, because the movie has a very the movie is stylish. Yes, the photography of this movie is very, very beautiful and well done. Congratulations, the people responsible for for working and for keeping up with that kind of photography and to change a little bit the photography along the movie, because sometimes we have some scenes that they are black and white and we have some scenes that they are not, but this mix of photography and the way that the filmmaking, of this movie is very stylish and beautiful. I like it very much. The first thing that got my attention was like, oh, this is beautiful, But the genre of this movie is, horror. And as a horror movie, okay, it's chilling, it's very, Some people said that the movie was very, very dark, but my feelings about that movie, my concerns about that movie was not that it was a dark kind of movie, but it was a very suspenseful movie. It was a thriller, in fact. But it's not that kind of movie that things happen fast. No, it's a slow burn movie. And if you ask me, Jack, what is a slow burn movie? It's a style, it's a filmmaking style in which the things happen very, 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 the pace of the events, they take place in a very slow motion, in a slowly way, and although the pace of the movie is low, it doesn't mean that the movie has nothing to offer, On the opposite hand, this kind of movie, they have a progression, It's slow, but you reach a point in which it's considered a boiling point, because it's like the top of the they reach a higher kind of dramatic scenes, or they reach a kind of emotion that in the beginning of the movie you don't feel that it's going to happen. So I am trying to explain in a very simple way what is a slow burn movie. And some people hate it, because some people think, nothing is happening, okay? But some people love it because it's like, that something is going to happen, but you don't know right to the beginning what is going to happen, So in my case, I feel very curious about it, Oh my goodness, what's going to happen, what's going on, like this. So in this case, it's a psychological horror. You can say that it's a psychological horror, and it's a movie that we have the main character, Parker. He's a very he's a guy that he's passing through a very difficult moment. He's in the grip of his grief, he's having that feeling of sorrow, but we feel that he's trying to overcome that, but it's hard because he lost his child, he lost his son. So in the beginning of the movie, we know that we have a character, Parker, that is a very sad person because he's passing through a very difficult moment. He's having, as I said beforehand, he's in the grip of his grief, okay? And grief here, I'm talking about that sorrow, when we lose somebody, that we love very much. And in his case, it's his son, so he's devastated, by this event, unfortunately. And he needs to to pay the bills, the hospital bills. Imagine this. And he accepts a job, and this job is what he knows about this job is that he has to try to investigate a woman, but in this case he's just going to observe her. Okay, that's why the name of the movie is Observance, because he was hired to observe this woman that lives in a building that is in front of his building. So he is in a flat, and he has all the equipment necessary, to observe through his lens, what is happening in that woman, in that lady's every day, okay? He's observing her daily life, okay? And it's interesting because at the same time that he's observing her, he's living in a flat, and this flat is very, in this case you can say that it's dark, because it's not clean, it's not neat. It's a place that we feel that he's not comfortable there, because he has just a bed that he can sleep, and he has a bathroom that he can take a shower, but the place is surrounded by a lot of papers, like newspapers around the place, covering the walls, So it's a little bit, you have that feeling that, in his place, I wouldn't like to be there, in that place, okay? But he has to be there because he's investigating, he's observing this woman, and in secrecy, so she doesn't know about him. But we start to realize that she kind of know a little bit that she's being observed, she's being in observance, okay? And from that moment, we start to wonder, what is really going on, why was he hired to do that? And he doesn't know, because the guy, who hired him just said, you just need to observe her and her everyday life. But he starts to feel that she is in danger because she has a boyfriend. I don't know if I think it's a boyfriend. It's not a fiance, but she has a boyfriend, and we kind of feel like the main character. He kind of feels that that guy, the boyfriend, is a little bit aggressive, and then he starts to research about who is that guy, who is that boyfriend. He seems to be a little bit aggressive. Is it about domestic violence? And then he discovered that there is a historical a in that guy family, okay, we can say that he discovered that there was an event that was considered a violent event, and that guy, from that boyfriend's family, he has committed a crime, and then we know that the past of that boyfriend, the lady's boyfriend, we kind of know that his family has this background of violence and crime, okay? And then he started to feel very suspicious about it because now he knows that, yeah, maybe she is in danger because there is this, this dark profile in his family, in that guy's family. And we also start to worry about her as Parker, the main character, the investigator, the one who has lost his son and he's in sorrow and he's in grief, he is in the grip of grief, you can say that. And then we get involved in this in this storytelling, in this process, in everything that is happening to Parker and to that lady. And of course, we want to know why, what is the motive that behind hiring him to watch her, But the interesting thing about it is that I have some points here that I want to talk to you guys. The movie is very unsettling, We can say that because we never know, we don't know for sure what is going on in her life, and what's going on, what's happening with Parker. Why? Because Parker, he starts to have some bizarre things happening around him. We don't know for sure if he is having dreaming, if he's dreaming, if he is seeing things that, the things are just in his mind and he is seeing things that are not there for sure, or if there is something deeper going on, okay? But the thing that we know for sure is that he is surrounded by a paranoid atmosphere. Yes, this movie talks a lot about this feeling of being surrounded by a paranoid atmosphere. And we feel that in both characters, because the girl, the woman, we don't see that she's having these weird dreams and like that as Parker, but we feel that she's not feeling comfortable. She's passing through a situation that we don't know for sure, but she's not comfortable about it, okay? And we kind of relate this feeling, this her feeling, we kind of relate this to her boyfriend because we feel that maybe there is something going on, among her, there is something going on between them then that we don't know very well, but it's a very uncomfortable thing. It's a mystery, we don't know. And in this case, we are wearing Parker's shoes because he doesn't know too. So he doesn't know what's going on for sure. He's just observing her and he feels that something is not okay, but he doesn't know what is, what is happening to her, okay? And it's very interesting because we are seeing her life, through his eyes. And sometimes we see the things that happens with her, but we kind of see that from Parker's point of view, okay? even in the scene that he enters in her flat, and uh, we kind of have her point of view, but we feel that it's how he reacts to her and to the fear uh, of being seen by her, inside of her own apartment, okay, and how she's going to react uh, when she, discover that she's being, people, in this case, Parker, has been watching her, for a long time. Because in the movie we have a sense of time. We have day one, day two, and so on. And it's interesting because we have a progression. As I said, it's a slow burn movie. And a slow burn movie, they kind of give us this sense of progression, because it's going to reach a very boiling point, and we are going to be, surprised by what we are going to see in this, in this, when the movie reaches this point, the highest point of the narrative. And it's very interesting, And there is another thing in this movie that I think that everybody, not everybody, but some people, of course, it's a classic movie. Hitchcock has a very, has done an excellent work concerning, this theme of person going crazy in a flat. Okay, I'm going to give this. Okay, person going crazy in a flat or in apartment. This theme, we have a masterpiece in the movie Rear Window. Yes, Rear Window. Yes. In rear window, okay. In Portuguese, it's totally different. In Portuguese, no, it's not so different, okay. Yeah, it's a little bit different, the name in Portuguese, but there is a relation, It's not exactly the same name, but there is a relation, okay. In Portuguese, it's janela indiscreta, okay. So in this movie, Hitchcock, Hitchcock, So he's done an excellent work because we have the same this scenario of a person who is watching an event or a person, from his perspective. But this perspective is a little bit, how can I say? It's modified by the place that this person is. Okay, I'm going to explain. Okay, I'm trying to say that in Rear Window, what we have is a person, okay. And this person is in his apartment and he's looking through his window, okay, and he's observing everyday life, his neighbors, for example. And so we have his perspective, okay, and how he sees, life through from his apartment, okay? And in this case, we have the same scenario, okay? The only thing that is different in this case is that we know that he's there because he is working, okay? In Rear Window, the main character, he is there cause he had a broken leg and he can't walk. So he's kind of, I have to be here, you know, watching people and so cause I need to do something, I'm tired of just staying here without doing nothing. Okay, and in Parker's case, he's there because he's working. Okay, so I gotta say that the things that we see and that take place, in his apartment, in his flat, they are very bizarre, and they are, in my opinion, he's passing through a very difficult moment in his life. He's in sorrow, he's in grief, and in my opinion, what happens to him, what he sees, that scene that he vomits, a very black water, it's a little bit disgusting because the movie has some, body horror, and it's very well done, by the way. And I think that we kind of, all the things that happened to him, that paranoid atmosphere and all the images and all the strangeness, in my opinion, it's the way that that his subconscious, you can say, that is expressing, his grief, his sorrow, his sadness, his deep sadness. And that is, it's like we are watching what is happening to his mind, he's trying to process all this sorrow, and he's trying to, to overcome that. He's trying to, okay, I need to work, I need to pay the hospital, I need to move on. And we discover that his marriage is, we feel and we have a character that is his brother-in-law. And when his brother-in-law talks to him, we realize that, okay, his marriage sucks. Okay, yeah, that's it. And we know that it's because of, the fact that he lost his son, and of course his wife is sad too, and they are trying to overcome that, but it's very difficult. We know as human beings that it's hard, when we lose somebody that we love. Oh my goodness, it's very difficult. It's a moment that you feel very alone, because you feel that what you are feeling, you can't explain, how can you explain what you are feeling when you lose somebody that you love, It's try to talk about it. It's hard to talk about it. It's, some people, and I guess the majority of us, we need help, We need a therapist. We need a psychologist. We need, we need someone to help us, because it's a very, you go to a very dark place, when you lose somebody that you love. And I'm telling it, I'm talking to you guys about it from my own perspective, when I lost my grandma, oh Jesus, oh, you know, it was like, it was very traumatic for me. And it, 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 it was difficult. So imagine in his case that he lost his son, you know, and it's hard, okay? Let's be honest. It's hard, okay? And he's passing through all these, you know, dark feelings. I don't know if I say dark feelings, it's going to be very, you know, it's going to be accurate. But he's passing through dark places in his mind, okay? Do you understand me? Yeah. And his flat and everything that happens in that flat that seems to be very weird and bizarre and creepy, they are exactly what his mind is passing through, what he's internally, you know, passing through. It's us watching his subconsciousness, you know. I don't know if are you, you know, it's us watching his mind trying to process all this sorrow, okay? But he is in a very dark place. So all the images that we see, they are strange, they are bizarre, they are creepy, because that's how he is feeling, you know. He is in deep sadness, okay? And that, you know, this thing is one thing that I like it very much about this movie, because they don't tell us, oh, it's happening, okay, this is happening because of this, or that happened because of that. No, we don't have this kind of explanation. No, sorry. But we can see it taking place, okay? And we kind of have to understand what's going on. But there is no easy answer. You know, the movie is not a movie that wants to give us an easy answer, you know, an easy... you have to, as Parker, you know, you have to think and try to process what is happening, what is coming about, you know, in all that scene, in all those scenes, you know, when he is kind of, you know, when he's in a very strange way, you know, in a very weird, okay, way. You can say that, you know. There is this weirdness, you know, surrounding him, you know, and it's very well the you know, the director of this movie, he really worked with images and sounds, and some scenes, they are very creepy, yes. As I said, there is a kind of body, or a kind of body horror going on, you know, and this horror that is going on, you know, this terror that's going on, it's much more psychological than physical. Although we have this kind of body, you know, we have these scenes that are a little bit chilling, you know. Like I said, the scene that he's, you know, that he's vomiting a black, it's a black water, but we don't know for sure if it's a water because it seems to be not so liquid, you know. But we kind of understand that. I think that his son was, we know that his son was in hospital, and we kind of understand that he was treating some kind of disease, you know. And we kind of understand that maybe, you know, that black liquid, it's a way to represent, you know, this poison, you know, this thing that was killing his son, you know. Because we try to, okay, first of all, if his son was in hospital and if he was treating a disease, okay, he was taking lots of medicines for sure, and we can understand medicine here as something that was trying to kill the disease. And when we think about disease, okay, when we think about something that's trying to kill something, we can think about poison, okay. And the idea of poison, okay, we have this idea of something that is not beautiful, of course, and that's not clean, of course, and that's not white, okay. It's hard to imagine poison as something white and bright. So when he has this liquid coming out of him, coming out of his body, we can imagine something dark coming out of him. And it's very representative in this movie. There is this darkness coming out of him. And it also represents sorrow, grief, sadness, and dark places in his mind, and all the, you know, and all the process of you know, of wildness. Do you understand what I'm trying to, you know? I was thinking about it, and it's very interesting, you know, if you try to think from this point of view, okay? And that's why I think this movie is very good. It's very good because the things are there, not just because the name of the director I forgot, not just because Joseph Sims-Dennett. Okay, I'm going to put there. I'm going to put this and that because it's beautiful and blah blah. No, the things are there, and we know that they have a meaning, you know. But the meaning is not what we see only, you know. The meaning is behind, you know. We have to. It's like the meaning is. We have an image, and the image represents a lot of things, and we have to uncover, you know, this. We have to have this process of uncover what is there, but it's kind of it's kind of, we cannot see just from a look and understand everything. We have to look and we have to observe. And again, okay, the name of the movie is Observance. And all these things, you know, they are connected to each other. You know, all these symbolisms, you know, they represent, you know, this process. He's observing a lady, next door, okay? And at the same time, the girl, she knows that she's being observed, that she's being, okay, she knows that somebody is watching her, okay? Uh, we don't know exactly what is her story, okay? We don't know exactly what is Parker's story, but we kind of understand that both of them, they are living in dark places, okay? They are surrounded by something that it's impossible to be spoken. Just it's impossible to put on words only, okay? They are feeling that. They are passing through a very weird and difficult and things that only them know what they're feeling about it, okay? And we as watchers okay, we as viewers, okay, we are observing too. And this is very, oh my goodness, it's like there are many levels here. There are many, there you can understand this movie in different perspectives, okay? And this is a very good thing, because you can watch this movie one time and then you see something and oh, okay, I got it. But you can watch it again, okay? And you have a second view about it, and now you understand something differently from the first time that that you experienced, watching this movie. Because it's I want to use a word, okay? Okay. Open-endedness, okay. There is this idea of open-endedness, okay? And endedness, okay? So open-endedness, why, Jacqueline? Because you can watch this movie today and you can feel something and you can understand something, and then next time you're going to watch it and then you're going to have a different perspective, because the end of the movie, it's not fixed, okay? It's a open end. So there is this open-endedness, in this movie. This sense of we can understand many things from Parker's perspective, from the girl's perspective, from the boyfriend's perspective, and even we can understand different things from the images, that we have, that they in a first moment you can think that, oh, they are so creepy, they are so unsettling, they are disgusting, what's going on with this guy, Jesus. But then you can understand it in a bigger way, like, oh, it's not just something that is happening with him in his body, but it's bigger than this. It's something that it is happening with him mentally, in his soul, in his in his person. As a person, he's passing through all of that he's very sad. he's we know that he's passing through a difficult moment. And as I said, I liked the movie a lot, okay? I like it. And I think that this kind of movie, psychological terror, or this kind of movie that we don't have, that the end of the movie is not very well, it's not explicit, okay? You have to try to understand that, digging, like, I like that, I like this kind of slow burn movie, and in my opinion, some people, of course, they will consider this movie, they will hate it, and some people will enjoy it a lot. I guess it depends on your personal taste, and it depends, of course, of your okay, it depends on how you're going to watch this movie, okay? If you are looking for a movie that has answers to your questions, I don't think it's the kind of movie that you're going to find, because you can have questions, okay, but they are not going to be, you're not going to find the answer, to your question or to your questions easily. You have to digest the image and the story as itself, and everything that happens, to the main characters, especially to Parker, And if you ask me, okay, is it worthy? Is it, is it a good movie? Or if you ask me, would you say, oh, watch this movie? Yes, I would tell you, yeah. If you want to see a movie, as I said, that is a slow burn filmmaking style, that is a movie that is much more psychological, that the terror, that the mystery, that the strangeness is much more psychological, and it happens in a very you have to, it's not going to be a movie that you are find, as I said beforehand, easy answers. So, as I said, if you enjoy this kind of movie, you're going to have a good time, okay? Because it's a movie that probably you're going to watch one time, and then you're going to think, oh, maybe one day I'm going to watch this movie again, because I think that there is much more to be seen than I have already, observe it. Okay. Yeah, using the word observance, observance. Yes, it's an Australian movie, okay, and some people they said that they were confused by the English of the movie, the English that the main character, the characters in general, they speak in this movie. Uh, I think that the majority of people that said that their mother language is English, so they kind of were a little bit distracted by the fact that Parker he kind of mixed Australian accent and American accent. But in my case, for me, no problem at all because English is not my first language, so I don't have this problem with accents. Okay, I realized that in, there are moments in the movie that we can understand that, oh, he's talking, his English is a little bit different now, what's going on? But it's not something that I was, oh, why they did that? No, for me, it was not a problem, okay? So, it was not a distraction. No. I was very focused on what was happening, and the images and everything. So I really recommend this movie, if you like this genre, thrillers, psychological horror, I really recommend this movie. But for those of you guys who enjoy, okay, films that are more explicit, that you know from the first time that, oh, the story is about this and that, and okay, maybe you're not going to enjoy it so much, okay? But I just want to say that, that I had a good time, a great time, by the way, watching it. And thank you guys, because some of you requested me to watch it and to talk about it later. I think that you guys already know the kind of movie that I like to talk about it, and some of you guys maybe you thought, oh, she's going to enjoy it. Yes, and I enjoy it, it's a movie that I will probably watch it in I'm trying to say that I'm going to watch this movie more than one time, because I have this feeling that there is much more, much more, there are more things that I can figure out, and I was not able to do it in how can I say, there are more things that I can understand from this movie if I give myself a chance to watch it more than one time. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? And that's it, I guess, as I said, so to to sum up, okay, it's a psychological terror. It's a very unsettling movie. It talks about grief and sorrow. It's a movie that also talks and presents, a paranoid atmosphere. We can say that the theme of this movie is that kind of movie when a person goes crazy in a flat, a person goes crazy in apartment, a person goes crazy in a cabin. No, it's not about a cabin in the woods. No, I'm just kidding. But it's about a person going crazy, in a small place like that, Like I said, the Hitchcock's movie, the I forgot the name in English. Rear Window. Yes, Rear Window. It's like this, It's a movie that we can say that talks about person going crazy in a very small place, like an apartment, or like like an apartment. Yes, it's a slow burn film. The style, the filmmaking of this movie, you can say that it's a slow burn filmmaking, and as a slow burn movie, we can say that the plot, the action, the scenes, they develop slowly, methodically toward an explosive point, okay? So let me say it again. In this movie, we have a slow burn narrative. It means that the plot, the actions, the scene, all the scenes in this movie, plot, action, they develop slowly, methodically, and it's going to reach a point that we can consider an explosive point, there is this progression, and there is this sense, this feeling in this movie of open-endedness, cause the end of the movie is open to different perspectives and different views, okay? In fact, the film as a whole is open to different perspectives and different viewpoints. And it's very interesting because the name of the film, the name of this movie is Observance. And we are also observing, watching and trying to understand what is going on, as Parker's character, what is going on, with that woman in that apartment, with that boyfriend. What I am doing here, observing her. I don't know why they asked me to do this. He's asking these questions, to himself. And we are also asking these questions to the movie. Like, what is going on? Oh my goodness. Is he going crazy? Is it real? Or is it just his imagination? you know, what happened to his son, you know, he died, okay, but what was that? He was in hospital. It was a disease. It was an accident. What's going on? You know, the movie is a big question, and uh, and that's why I say that there is this feeling of you have of digesting, you know, you have to process, you have to investigate as Parker's is doing, you know. So there is, you know, it's just, it's now that I'm talking about it, I can see the, you know, I can see this. Now I have this picture uh, of the movie and all the elements of the movie, talking about the movie and what is happening in the movie, you know, this sense, this idea that the movie speaks about itself in his own characters, you know. It's interesting. That's nice. That's why I think this movie is very good. You know, it's, yeah, a very good movie. Yeah. So, guys, that's it. You know, if you have time, if you wanna have if you wanna have a time a different. If you want to watch, okay, if you want to watch a different movie, much more psychological terror than the ones that are, you know, just spooky, you know, this is a good movie for you, okay? Yes? So thank you very much. Okay, I hope my highlights, you know, my ideas about this movie, and I hope that you guys, you know, understood, and you guys kind of, you know, got, you know, the concepts and the ideas and the impressions that I tried to present, you know, to you guys in this video about this movie, you know. So thank you very much, okay? And, you know, be my guest, okay? I like to read your feedbacks. Please give me, you know, a positive reinforcement. Okay, yes, you know. Okay, yeah, kind of, yeah. No, yeah, okay. We need it, of course, you know. But feel free to express yourself, okay, in the comments, okay. And if there is another movie that you want me to talk about it, you know, you can send me an email, okay? Yes. Or you can just write it down in the comments, okay? Yeah. So, thank you guys a lot, okay? So, bye-bye. See you next time, okay? And keep and keep on observing my channel, okay? All right, bye bye, see ya. Thank you. Bye.